The Indiana Fever just played their first game against the Chicago Sky, and folks, it was not close. It was not close. I remember my timeline being flooded with people saying it was going to be a good dogfight. It was going to be a close game. It was going to come down to the wire. It was going to be a great one. No, it wasn't. It was a 40-point blowout. And it was a great game on one side. On the other side, it was a little questionable. But we got to see Caitlin Clark in full force. We got to see the new and improved Caitlin Clark. I can't wait to break down the film in this video for you guys, man. She looked amazing. She had a triple-double, a 20-point triple-double. She shot it nearly 50% from the field. She shot it 50% from the three, y'all. She had 4 blocks. The defense was there. The playmaking was there. The rebounding was there. Everything was there. She looked like the best player in the WNBA. She looked like the MVP. She looked like a player that deserves all the attention she's getting because she's doing something nobody else in women's sports is doing. Nobody can capture the attention like Caitlin Clark can capture the attention of the human brain. When I'm watching Caitlin Clark and the shot she's hitting, I'm just like, what the heck? I just have to kind of like stand up and just lock in. Like, what am I seeing from this woman? And yeah, man, I could talk about it all day, but let's go ahead and break down this game, man, because it was a very, very, very fun game. Now, I want you to look at this first play. Caitlin Clark brings it up the court, comes off the screen, and look at where she's shooting it from. Look at where she's pulling it from. Look at the confidence to shoot this shot and drill it. The shot looks so pure in this game, dude. Every single shot was a swish for Caitlin Clark. She was just swishing everything. She looked like a freaking superhero out there. Who else is doing this? Pulling it up from that far, and the shot looks that pure. It doesn't look unorthodox. These shots are going in. They don't look lucky like some of Arike Ogunbowale's shots, and I'm not taking anything away from Arike, but Caitlin Clark's on a different level with this shot making thing. I know that Arike Ogunbowale comparisons always come up. Caitlin Clark's actually efficient. Arike kind of just chucks up shots and you just hope they go in, and she makes some of them, but she's very inefficient. She doesn't play winning basketball. Caitlin Clark does it playing winning basketball, and she makes most of her shots. She shot at 50% from the three-point line this game, nearly 50% from the field in this game. She is on a different level. There is no comparison. This is just ridiculous. This is the Steph Curry kind of play. She is a marksman. In this game, Angel Reese shot at 5 for 14 from the field. She did have 17 rebounds, but if you watch the game, she had a bad game. She did more talking than she did actually playing, and her team lost by nearly 40. But I want you to look at this play. Look at this defense from Aaliyah Boston. This is a lot of the reason why Angel Reese wasn't able to make a lot of her layups. I mean, now she's going to miss layups no matter who she plays against. She just misses layups. But this is a big reason why she was missing, is because Aaliyah Boston played amazing defense in this game. There were many plays like this. I'm not going to show them all, but there were many plays like this where Aaliyah Boston was just playing amazing defense. She had a very, very solid game. You're going to see it in this game. She had some good jump shots that she hit off the Caitlin Clark pass. She had 19 points, 13 rebounds. She was very, very solid in this game. I really love what I saw from Aaliyah Boston. I think she was the second best player on the court in this game. I think I want to give that to Aaliyah Boston. She was that good. I really enjoyed watching her play tonight. She played really well on defense. This is amazing. If Aaliyah Boston continues playing like this, the Indiana Fever aren't going to have really any problems with anybody besides the New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces. Now, I want you to look at this next play. Kelsey Mitchell gets it on that wing. Look at her coming off this screen. What a three-point shot. That is amazing from Kelsey Mitchell. I know a lot of people think Kelsey Mitchell is the ball hog, and she is. There were times in this game where she was a ball hog and she was shooting shots when Caitlin Clark had the momentum. But I can't be too mad at it because she makes it. She makes these shots when you need them. This is early in the game and you're giving the momentum to the Indiana Fever. Like, this is how you get a 13-point lead going into halftime, and this is how you're able to increase it. It's by plays like this. Plays like this get the crowd going, and it makes the players run faster. Caitlin Clark is a player who makes the players run faster. Kelsey Mitchell does the same thing, man. She makes these crazy shots. It gets the crowd going. There are times where Kelsey Mitchell plays ISO, and it does help the team. So even though there are a lot of ball hog moments, you have these moments, and they both need to be recognized. Now, if you actually watch this game, you'll know there were so many plays where Caitlin Clark was feeding her teammates, and they just missed the layups. I know Caitlin Clark had double-digit assists in this game, and I know you looked at the highlight reels, and you were like, wow, that was amazing. But if you didn't get a chance to watch the game, then let me let you know right here, right now, from an honest guy, an honest chap, honest before the Lord God. Caitlin Clark should have had nearly 20 assists in this game. There were at least 5 to 10 plays where Caitlin Clark fed her teammates. She got them set right up, and they just missed a layup or they didn't catch the ball. She was diming all game, and there were like so many plays where her Fever teammates just didn't make the layups. Like this play right here. Aaliyah Boston just doesn't make the layup. There were just so much of this in this game. So, look, I know the stat line looked crazy, but I want you to understand the fact that Caitlin Clark could have had way more assists, and the Indiana Fever could have won by way more. Now, I want you to look at this next play. Sydney calls Boston has it on that baseline, and she finds Lexi Holt doing what? She's cutting backdoor. Lexi Holt cuts backdoor, gets an easy layup. I really liked her game. She had 9 points, 9 rebounds. She was a plus 17 on the court. She had a steal. I really liked the way she performed. She played with energy. She played with effort. She didn't have the best game. She didn't have that last preseason game, but she did have a great game. She also played 22 minutes, and I know Sophie Cunningham didn't play, and so when Sophie Cunningham does play, that's probably going to take some of those minutes away, but I do like the fact that Stephanie White went to Lexi Holt because she plays with energy, plays with effort. She's always getting on the ground, going for those loose balls. It's a little thing she does that gets the Indiana Fever into the game. I liked what I saw from Lexi Holt in this game. She knew when to cut back door, and there are some more plays we're going to get to where Lexi Holt was really playing well. Kind of like this play. Caitlin Clark is pushing the pace in transition, and like I said in my last video, who knows better than Lexi Holt when to cut back door when Caitlin Clark has the ball, because they're like this off the court and they're like this on the court. This is why Lexi Holt is so valuable, because she knows Caitlin. They are friends. They are buddies. They are bonded. So she knows Caitlin's game. She knows what Caitlin is looking to do, and she knows the right time to cut back door. Caitlin Clark throws a dime of a pass to Lexi Holt here. That is a beautiful play. That is marksmanship right there. When it comes to shooting, she's a marksman. When it comes to passing, she's a marksman. She knows how to thread the needle. A beautiful pass, beautiful layup. I love these plays. Now, I want you to look at this next play. Off of the pick and roll, 2 defenders are always going to go with Caitlin Clark. That's going to leave the roller wide open. Caitlin Clark obviously knows how to pass the ball, so she's going to be able to get easy assists all the time, because these defenders are almost like dumb zombies out there. It's like they can't help themselves but double Caitlin Clark because she's that good. It's like it's something that just has to happen. It's like a canon event. If you watch any of the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movies, like, it's a canon event. They're always going to double Caitlin Clark. That's going to leave the roller wide open, and Aaliyah Boston capitalizes here. Now, we saw some in the preseason where off that pick and roll, the defenders are going to collapse quicker on Aaliyah Boston and kind of stop her from that layup, but then that's going to leave players just all around the perimeter just wide open, because they're helping off those offensive players to guard Aliyah in the paint. So no matter what, you kind of just win here. Off that double team, the Indiana Fever have a lot of options. If they try to stop Aaliyah Boston can make the kick. If they don't, that's an easy layup for Aaliyah Boston. And if they don't double Caitlin Clark at all, she's going to go one-on-one and just make you freaking pay. Now, once again, I think Aaliyah Boston had a very impressive showing. Like on this play right here where Caitlin Clark passes it into Aliyah, gets it right back, but off that pick, she finds Aliyah again, who makes the mid-range jump shot. This is what I love to see. Her not rolling, but her making use of that mid-range, because the defenders usually aren't expecting her to shoot this. This is a pretty decent contest, but usually Aliyah is going to get wide open shots on the jump shot, and I like the fact that she's making it, because when she does, she stretches the defense out. She pulls defense out of that paint, so that's going to leave it open for players who want to cut back door, or Caitlin Clark, who might want to go off the dribble and get down low, or that's going to make the defenders have to guard Aaliyah Boston a little different off that pick and roll, because you might try to do a drop coverage, but you really don't want to do that, because if you do, then you leave Aaliyah Boston wide open for the mid-range jump shot. So her adding this to her game is a big thing. We were talking about this last season, y'all. I was making videos about Aaliyah Boston shooting mid-range jump shots last season. I've been saying this for a minute now. I'm not just now getting to the party. I have been telling y'all, when Aaliyah Boston starts shooting that mid-range jump shot, that's when I'll call her superstar. That's when I'll say, oh yeah, Aaliyah Boston is like second fiddle to Caitlin Clark. Right now it's Kelsey Mitchell, but I think Aaliyah Boston has the potential to just be that, for lifer with Caitlin Clark. Look, Aaliyah Boston can be the Shaq to Caitlin Clark's Kobe. She can. She just got to continue working on her jump shot, because if she adds to that, dude, she's going to be unstoppable. Now, once again, Aaliyah Boston was just spectacular in this game. And look at this fake dribble handoff she does, and she gets an easy lane because of it. This is a Draymond Green kind of play. He does this all the time on the Warriors. He fakes that dribble handoff because the defenders are always so fixated on Steph Curry, just like these defenders are fixated on Caitlin Clark. So make use of that gravity that Caitlin Clark is drawing, that defensive attention that Caitlin Clark is always going to draw, and just go to the paint. Easy layup. This is what I like to see. This is IQ. This is good coaching. Shout out Steph White. You didn't see this last year, but you see a coach who actually knows how to coach. You see a coach on the sideline who actually knows who to be looking at, what teams you should be studying. Nobody has gravity like Caitlin Clark but Steph Curry. So go watch Steph Curry. He had it before Caitlin Clark. And so since she's that good, you can actually mimic some of the things that Steph Curry does and implement it into your own game, and it'll actually work because Caitlin Clark actually draws the defensive attention. It's not going to work if you don't actually draw that defensive attention. But since you do, use the plays. Easy offense. Now, this is the last play of the second half, and I want you to look at the shot from Caitlin Clark, man. She's falling away. This is just a ridiculous shot. The fact that she's swishing this is insane. The fact that she has the confidence to shoot these is insane, but the fact that she's making them so confidently is scary. It's actually scary for the WNBA because nobody's on this level. Nobody's doing it at this rate. Arike Agumbawale, she does make very difficult shots, but she doesn't make them at this level, and she's not making them efficiently like Caitlin Clark is. It's a very scary thing. Now, I want you to look at this next play. Caitlin Clark comes off a screen, and what a beautiful pass she throws down at Natasha Howard. That was literally beautiful. What a pass. What a finish from Natasha Howard. You like to see them finishing the layup. There were so many missed layups in this game. You like to see them finish. And Natasha Howard was actually very solid in this game. I loved her performance. She was just a player that you can give the ball to down there, and she would just give you easy offense. She had 15 and 5. She shot at 50% from the field. She had 3 steals, a block. She just was very efficient out there. She had a really good game. I liked what I saw from Natasha Howard. She's the kind of player you want next to Caitlin Clark. I'm going to want to see a whole lot more pick and rolls between these two players as the season goes on, but they're just, kind of learning each other. They're kind of learning where they're going to be on the court. You didn't see a lot of those missed layups from Natasha Howard or those missed passes because they're just kind of figuring each other out. It's going to be choppy. Caitlin said it was going to be choppy in their first few games, but they do end up figuring it out, as you're going to see. They go up by 35 points in this game. Now, I want you to look at this next play. Off this pick and roll, 2 defenders do initially go with Caitlin Clark, but you do see this defender kind of roll back over to Aaliyah Boston since they're in such close quarters, but Aaliyah Boston goes to work here. Easy paint destroying by Aaliyah Boston. This is what I consider demolishing in the paint right here. She's just a big body, and you can't really mess with Aaliyah Boston. She's too strong. I like this assist because Caitlin Clark is just drawing defensive attention. Find Aaliyah Boston is going to work. I like that. They got that connection going on. I like to see these two thriving together. Now, I want you to check out this defense from Natasha Howard and Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese is trying to go to work down there, but that is just Natasha Howard showing you why the Indiana Fever got her on the team. This is why the Indiana Fever needed a player like Natasha Howard, so you can cut all the crap. Like, Angel Reese is not the kind of player that you need to be worried about ever. But you were so worried about Angel Reese last year because Alyssa Smith was guarding her. What an upgrade this is from Alyssa Smith, because Alyssa Smith would have got killed by Angel Reese in this game. Angel Reese definitely improved. She looks bigger. She looks stronger. She is a good player down there. She's good for WNBA standards. She's not like global, but she is a good player. And she's the kind of player that you need to stop because she's the kind of player that will get the other team going, give them energy and effort. And so you didn't see Angel Reese get going because you had players like Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard down there playing amazing defense. And look at Caitlin Clark getting the steal too. That's an amazing steal. She pushes the pace, gets it up to Aaliyah Boston. You don't get an assist here, but you do draw the foul. That's 2 free throws. Easy offense. Caitlin Clark is getting the Indiana Fever easy offense even when it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. Now, I want you to check out this next play. Caitlin Clark has the ball on that wing, and look at her putting the moves on the defender and going to that mid-range. Whoa, now we only saw this one time in this game. We only saw one mid-range attempt from Caitlin Clark in this game. But if she can do this consistently, man, it's finna be scary. That looked very pure. It looked very comfortable from Caitlin Clark. I know she wasn't going to it a lot in this game, but it seems like she can go to that when she wants to. And if she consistently starts breaking the defense by shooting that mid-range jump shot, it's over, dude. Like, it's just finna be over for everybody. All the defenders are really gonna have no way to guard her because right now they're already double teaming her, leaving the rollers wide open, and that's a bad choice. And then when they don't double team her, she's just going to work and cooking them. And then if she starts stopping in the middle of it all and just shooting mid-range shots, there's no way the defenders are going to be able to predict that. She's gonna get wide open mid-range shots all game, and if she's hitting them like this, oh yeah, it's gonna be over. Now, I want you to look at this next play. My point keeps getting demonstrated. Off that pick and roll, 2 defenders are going to go with Caitlin Clark, and look at them daring Aaliyah Boston to shoot. They're kind of just daring her. They're like, we'll give you this. We won't give you a great contest. We'll live with you shooting that shot. And when Aaliyah Boston drains it, she has to make the defense rethink that. If she drains it and keeps draining it, keeps draining that shot, eventually defense are going to be like, you know what, should we even double Caitlin Clark? Because Aaliyah Boston is going to hit the shot. Like, that's not even a good double team. team. And so that's going to give Caitlin Clark more room. This is just how you win right here. It's by making the defense pay for gambling on your name. If you're going to gamble on my name and you're going to leave me to go guard Caitlin Clark, I'm going to make you pay for it. And Aaliyah Boston is hitting those mid-range jump shots. She's hitting those three-point jump shots. She's rolling, getting those layups. I think she was perfect in this game. She was perfect in this game, and if she keeps doing that, you're going to see so much wins from the Indiana Fever. Now, I want you to look at this next play. Off this rebound, Caitlin Clark pushes the pace in transition, and I want you to notice how she knows when to find Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston knows when to cut to the paint. These are the kind of plays you love to see from Aaliyah Boston. Once again, man, she was amazing in this game. Caitlin Clark consistently is looking to pass the ball down low. Aaliyah Boston was consistently in the right spot in this game, which is why you saw so many connections between these two players. Now, with a player like Natasha Howard and Wana Bonner, you saw a lot of those iffy connections because they're still trying to figure out Caitlin Clark. Aaliyah Boston knows when to cut. She knows when to roll. She knows what position she needs to be in. Caitlin Clark is obviously going to be looking for her, so it's pure poetry. Now, I want you to look at this once again. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but you kept seeing it in this game. Caitlin Clark off the pick and rolls, finding Aaliyah Boston, who's on the mid-range, hitting that easy mid-range jump shot. This is what you love to see, man. Instead of rolling to the paint and then playing bully ball or just being out on the wing, she's stopping at that mid-range position and getting those easy deuces, man. That's what I love to see from Aaliyah Boston, man. It's such an improvement from last year where you didn't see her shooting the mid-range shots, but you didn't see her shooting it so much as you're seeing it shooting it right now. This is her game right now. This is what the defenders are going to have to expect from Aaliyah Boston. And if she keeps hitting these jump shots, she's going to pull the defense out of the paint. It's going to open everything up for everybody else on the Fever. It's giving the Fever more options. You've already got a whole lot of talent on the team, but now you got the old existing talent adding more to their game. So this team is just going to be ridiculous. Now I want you to look at this next play. Caitlin Clark's on that right wing and she's dancing with that defender, fading away. What a shot. She's falling into the stands. Not literally, but kind of literally. She is falling back on this shot. That's just so difficult, man. The defense is right in her face and she's making that shot. If she does this consistently, dude, nobody is ever going to be able to say anything about Caitlin Clark. She is 10 times better than anybody else I've ever watched in the WNBA. There are players who are close to her skill level, like Nafisa Collier and Aja Wilson, but she's better in the sense that she's more captivating. They're not as exciting as Caitlin. They don't get you on the edge of your seat. They don't get you like jumping up and down like, what the heck? Caitlin Clark does that. That is why everybody wants to see her play. This is why you got young guys talking about Caitlin Clark and being like, yo, did you watch the new Indiana Fever game? I'm like, yeah, I watched it. And it's because Caitlin Clark is causing guys who usually watch the NBA to watch the WNBA because the games are just as exciting, if not more exciting. Like, there are players in the NBA who can't do what Caitlin Clark's doing. There's a lot of superstars in the NBA who aren't making the shots at the level that Caitlin Clark is making them. This is shot making that is only rivaled by the likes of Steph Curry and Luka Doncic and James Harden, and nobody else is making shots like this even in the NBA. Seriously. And at the efficiency level that she's making it, because there are players who can check up shots even in a W. Like, you know, I would say Kelsey Mitchell, she knows how to shoot the ball. I would say Enrique Gumbala knows how to shoot the ball, but they're not doing it at the level Caitlin Clark is doing it, and they're not doing it as efficiently as Caitlin Clark is doing it like in this game. She's been very efficient for what we've seen from her in the preseason and this, you know, this first game of the season. So if she keeps this up, dude, like, nobody's on her level. Nobody's catching her. Nobody's even close to her. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end off this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. I'm getting this video up pretty late, so even though I could go on and on and on, we do have to cut it short. Maybe we'll make some more videos tomorrow if you guys want that. You guys let me know. There's way more, you know, we could break down in this game. I did have to work today, so I had to get off work before I could actually make a video about the game today. And so that's why it's coming out late. I do apologize about that, but more videos to come, more to come. We're going to try to get these videos out as much as we can. The Indiana Fever looked amazing in this game, dude. I'm just very excited for the season to be back. Caitlin Clark looks better than ever. Aaliyah Boston looks ready. Natasha Howard looked great out there. Lexi Holt looked great out there. You won by nearly 40, and Sophie Cunningham didn't play. That should tell you the state of Indiana Fever fans right now, dude. We are ecstatic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly did, man. Peace out.